Start of the season a lot less for a little more, right?
Yeah.
And it's about depth. And I
Yeah.
think you're 11th game in 22 days, double overtime. You had the best legs.
Yeah.
Rolling 4 lines. Is this where it paid off?
So proud of our group. I think it's actually, that's our 13th game every other day. You get both previous Stanley Cup champions. What a gauntlet, Colorado was a more rested team, after their first round. I just couldn't be proud of our group. I thought everybody dug deep. And our depth did carry us through. That gave us a spark because, we've got a mix of older and younger guys, but they were just fantastic. And it's just hard to believe with a gauntlet like that you're only halfway there. But we're going to enjoy and need the time off here, and get ready for the next round.
Pete, I guess you could say it's a moot point, although, you're hoping to play 2 more rounds where there might be another goalie interference review. I mean, what's your sense of what you saw there?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to get an explanation. I didn't get an explanation. I'd heard the referees had talked to some of the players. The players had told me what the referee said. Sometimes that gets lost in translation, especially with some of our players. So I don't want to comment on it till I get an official explanation. I think puzzled, but I want to hear what the explanation was.
Hey, Pete, Matt Duchene's journey as well as anybody.
Yeah.
The whole situation with Nashville, and then to come back into this building
Yeah.
and to have this first the penalty or whatever, the
Yeah.
infraction, and then to get the game winner. Just
Yeah.
what a storybook ending. For
Yeah,
the
really
game.
really happy for Dutchie, and he's ridden the confidence roller coaster here the second half and in the playoffs. Really, some high highs and some low lows, and it was probably about as low as he could be after Game 5. And again, that's why our group's special. I thought they rallied around him, and he was maybe our best player tonight. So that's what teams do for each other.
Hey, Pete, you've taken a couple different franchises to the Stanley Cup final before. What so far about this run makes you feel like this can end in the special way you want it to?
Yeah. Well, you never know, right? But you're down to 4 teams out of 32 that started this journey. I never take for granted making the playoffs. It's really hard. It's really hard to win a round in this league, and it's obviously even harder to win 2 and get to a conference final, so on. So you never take that for granted. You never know how that journey is going to end. I think any of the teams left could win. You gotta have some luck. You gotta have some health. You gotta have some bounces. I think really hopefully the stars align for us.
29 saves for Motter tonight, some of them rather spectacular.
Yeah.
What'd you think of his performance?
Yeah, he was fabulous. He was really fabulous early. Colorado really pushed in the first, like we knew they would at home. That's the other thing. Our team comes in here and wins 3 road games against the best home team in the NHL. Just fantastic character to be able to do that against that team in this building. And it starts with him. I mean, we don't get through the first period unless he's dialed in and makes the saves he makes.
Pete, Zach Parise, in his final press conference
Yeah.
with us, took time out of his time to talk about you, to talk about the relationship he has with you, and
Yeah.
just rooting for you to go on and win the Cup, I guess. What could you say about him, his career, and just what was
Yeah.
that moment like in the handshake line with him?
Yeah, Zach was my first captain in New Jersey, where we actually went on a playoff run, went to the Stanley Cup final. That was my first playoff as a coach, and he was our leader, on and off the ice. He's always been one of my favorite NHL players because he's got an engine that doesn't stop. He's got character that oozes. He's just had a fantastic career, fantastic family man, I wish, our paths would have crossed again at some point. I know we tried, a few times over the years, because I would have loved to have worked with him again. I just, much respect for the player and for the person. And, he should be awful proud of the career he's had and the legacy he left. I mean, nobody worked harder than that guy every day. Tip of a hat to him. He's a good man.
And then another good story, Petrovic just coming in off.
Yeah.
And then what were his contributions? It seems like he was the important part of
Yeah.
this, especially in double
Well, I
overtime.
mean, he became available to us. The American League team lost out. He was their captain down there. The thing that was intriguing about him was he's a right shot, which we thought was important. But he's also played 250 NHL games, and he's also played NHL playoff games. And he's also a big, heavy, hard man. And that's hockey this time of year. Thank you.